Hello my fellow gearheads, Milan Reindl over here, and today I'm finally here with the LEGO Ideas Dungeons & Dragons Red Dragon's Tale, the set number 21348. I finally pulled the trigger and bought this gigantic box, and I'm gonna build it, and can't wait to try as well the adventure that goes together with this LEGO Dungeons & Dragons set. This set contains 3,745 parts and marks the first cooperation between Wizards of the Coast from Hasbro and LEGO. And the original LEGO Ideas submission, as far as you remember, had the green dragon over here, but to be honest, the red dragon is more iconic and covers pretty much every single Dungeons & Dragons classic rulebook. And here you can as well see how the set is gonna look from the back. The overview of the characters and some of the monsters is here at the top layer. So here you can see all the stuff that you can find afterwards in the set besides the dragon. And it should be very modular, and yeah, as I mentioned before, it comes together with a one-shot adventure that you can replay using this LEGO set. So let's open the box, see what's inside, and start building as quickly as possible. So this is what is lying loose in the box, and the highest number that I found so far on the back is 31. But if you think it's a lot, I have bad news for you, because this is the inner box that is inside the main box, and here are the contents that do not even fit over here in front of my backdrop. So yeah, I bet these will be the cloth pieces for the dragon wings, instructions and sticker sheet, I guess. And yeah, these are all the bags with one lying on the floor. And if you think there were enough surprises, well, I have bad news for you. There are 4 separate instruction booklets, all of them with this beautiful artwork that won the LEGO Ideas competition. So yeah, right now it's hopefully just time to enjoy the building. Oh, and I forgot to show you this one. I'm a fairly tiny sticker sheet. Not too many stickers, which is great news for me as well. More or less just addition of some extra details. After 4 evenings of building this, the set is finally done. And honestly, I don't know where to start. But just a word of warning, there will be spoilers. So if you are planning on playing the adventure that is following this Dungeons & Dragons LEGO Ideas set, just stop right now and fast forward to the final chapter of the video, because I'm gonna take you through some of the Easter eggs and show you all the nasty monsters that the designers made ready for you. So first you have a group of 4 adventurers that are at level 5. For each of them you have female and male versions of the heads. Let me just zoom in on them. So you have Elven Mage, then you have Orc Rogue, then you have a Dwarf Cleric, and Halfling Fighter. And this is the Innkeeper. The build of the inn is very nice, uses some interesting building techniques. You can remove the top section, and you can as well remove sections of the roof. There's a new mold for the doors over here, and here you can see that there is some weaponry, some food ready, some barrels of beer and bottles of wine for the adventurers to get some refreshments. And what you get to see up here are the first encounters of the game. For those who are familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, these are some mimics. One of them is a chest, the other one is a bed, and yeah, you can find some other Easter eggs in the inn. You can as well remove the section of the roof like so to get better access to the bedroom. Then you continue with building the meadow where you can meet some gigantic spiders. You get to build a cool looking owlbear which utilizes a nice eye print that is reused in a clever way for both left and right eyes. You can move the front legs on a ball joint, the hind legs move in and out, the tail is posable, and you can rotate the cool and cute looking head. Besides that, if we turn this thing around, you get to see that there is a prison cell with an access. I'm not gonna completely spoil everything that is happening over here, but there's somebody in the prison. You get to see the gelatinous cube, which is done in a very, very nice way. And it hides parts of a skeleton. Here you can see scattered weaponry at the bottom of the dungeon, and yeah, that is pretty much it for the lower floor. And here you can see some living creatures which originated in Lego Dreams. These are the myconids, or the living mushroom people. And yeah, you can see the printed face, and they look super cute. And you as well get to see a very beautifully printed shield with a beholder pattern over here. Both the modules perfectly fit into each other by means of few Lego Technic pins. Don't try to ever lift the whole set up, because it really rests on just a few pins. And if you have any visitors, just warn them, please don't move this thing as one piece, because it might result afterwards in you rebuilding the whole set. The bottom of the tower ruin contains several skeletons over here, and a staircase, and as well some plants that are hiding over here. And this is a part of the tavern which depicts two dragonborn parents holding an egg, which is a really nice and fun nod to the storyline of the adventure. The bottom of the top section of the tower hides a functioning trapdoor that releases just simply by moving this key. You afterwards need to reach underneath and slide the key back into the position. There's as well some hideout with probably what is going to be a potion. Then there's a lab of somebody over here with some skulls and spell scrolls. And here is the dragon egg. And this is pretty much the top of the tower. And again, this is how all the modules look when they are clicked together, but we are still missing some monsters to meet. You get to build as well extremely cool and accurate looking displacer-bees with all the 6 legs and the tentacles. And of course, one of the most iconic monsters of the Forgotten Realms, which is the Beholder. You can move each of the eye stalks independently and as well turn the eyes. It can open and close the mouth, and this was, in my opinion, one of the most fun parts of the build. We covered some dungeons over here, but we didn't cover the other half of the name of this game, which is dragons. So here we have Cinderhowl, a female red dragon in her full glory, and I have to say she looks abso-freaking-lutely gorgeous. I heard as well some criticism about the size of the eyes that are barely visible, but trust me, the red dragons do not have very prominent eyes. When we take a look at some D&D miniatures, you can see that this red dragon still has fairly big eyes, but look at this gigantic version of the Ashardalon. There are almost no eyes visible, as you can see over here. They are very, very tiny, so it's fairly accurate to the lore. The dragon has opening jaw. With the removable flame effect, you can move these fins on the sides of the skull. I really do like the detail of the brooms being recolored as part of the horns, and to be honest, this is such a good representation of how the red dragons look in Dungeons and Dragons. The head is sometimes slightly on the heavier side, so as you can see, it has a tendency sometimes to fall down. You can move the neck around and you can as well angle it back and forth. The front legs can be moved back and forth, and you can change the angle at the elbows, and you can angle each of the individual claws over here. The hind legs have pretty much a static pose. They can be moved back and forth, and you can adjust the claws, and the tail has many ball jointed sections that can be angled differently. The only drawback is that the tail is fairly heavy, especially if you extend it fully all the way back, so it has a stopper over here that prevents it from flapping completely down, but unfortunately it doesn't hold straight. The wings are done in this new orange color that was developed for the space themes. You can click them up and down, and you can as well rotate the whole wing assembly, which is really cool. These do not just flop around and hold really well. And regardless of her tiny flaw, Cinderhowl is really impressive and great looking representation of a red dragon, and I really do love the transition between different colors and the overall color scheme. And again, as I mentioned, I really do like the cloth in the new reddish orange color. Here you have the set again in its full glory, just missing the top flag at the top of the tower, and I have to say I'm really impressed with everything. Building this set doesn't feel like building an official Lego set. It feels more like building a mock. You really have to pay a close attention, otherwise you might end up with some leftover parts like I did, so I had to afterwards track back where I forgot to use some of the parts. Some parts are way easier, some parts are a bit more difficult. I was never a fan of putting together buildings and as well decorating landscape, but I managed, learning from the 80s police stations and fire stations, where you had to as well calculate every offset of each stud to place a 1x1 or 1x2, which is the case over here, with especially decorating and putting all the marbles and the stones on the floor of different dungeons. This set ticks as well many boxes in terms of like utilized building techniques, the used colors and the different color palettes, all different kind of styles as well. And you get to build plenty of different monsters, which are nicely divided throughout the build of those 32 bags. Overall, you get a plenty of new stuff, new doors, things in colors that you have never seen before. And if you're looking for small leftovers, this is the bag with the leftover parts, which is quite filled with 1x1 things, different 3.2 shafts and minifigure accessories. This set just ticks so many boxes for me, and the fact that somebody as well took the time and wrote an adventure that you can replay just using this set, because all the characters and all the monsters are over here. All you need to do is just use your dice or download the electronic dice and download the adventure on lego.com, and that's it. This is just waiting to be played with, but be aware that you need to be quite gentle with some of the sections because they could be quite delicate. Yeah, as I said, this set feels more like a mock than an official Lego set, in good and bad ways, but I really do love it. So I hope you had fun watching the video. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, take care, and bye bye. Don't forget to hit like, comment and subscribe if you are new over here. And I'm hoping for more Dungeons and Dragons stuff coming soon.